4-day week this week. Managed to do a sneak attack on the world famous Statesman Courier, and a bit of support for Freddie Fletcher Limited, and a little bit of a moan about posted PODs. I don't know if you see me or not. Oh, Webbo. Let's just see if we can get it. I think we've got him. He doesn't know we're here. He's looking for things. I'll send the video. Hello there, it's Dave here, Amber Logistics, and it's Tuesday, 27th of February, and I am driving down the M5 and I'm going to Wimborne. And I picked this job up from the Wharton area, which is kind of between Preston and Blackpool, from a defence industry contractor, and I'm going to another defence industry contractor. So this is one of the good paid jobs that I get, which is good because I didn't work yesterday. I had some issues to take care of, some family things that needed sorting out. So that took kind of the morning. So I then decided that I wasn't going to bother and had the day off. So this job that's really well paid will kind of make up for having yesterday off, which is good. I didn't completely waste my time. We did put the moustache stroke wind deflector on Bessie. Show you a picture. And to be honest with you, I don't think it makes much difference. I think the colour of the van means that it doesn't really stand out. So I think they look better, those things, on the lighter ones. But it's on now, and on it shall stay. If nothing else, it helps against stone chips and things like that, doesn't it? But it doesn't look very striking, really. But it'll do, it'll stay on. It's only a cosmetic thing. I don't know how practical they are, actually, as wind deflectors, etc. But I'll keep it on now anyway. Mainly because I put some scratches on the bleeding bonnet putting it on, because I'm a bit of a klutz. So on it shall stay now. As regards how we're going to get on the rest of the week, I don't know is the answer. This is a good job today, so there's a good chance if they've got work for me that tomorrow's job won't be quite as good. But you trust in their system of trying to be fair, and they kind of look at the figures the drivers are doing and trying to even it out as they can. So on the whole, I have been very happy with the work I've been getting off this customer, especially considering the time of year. They don't have any issue with me doing work for anybody else as long as I let them know, so they don't plan for me to do anything. And like now I'm going to Wimborne, if I was lucky enough to get myself a battler, which is highly unlikely, because I just can't seem to have much success on the Courier Exchange at the moment, they would have no issue with it. As long as I let them know, if they've got nothing for me, then they're happy that I find something. But the truth is, I'm happy with the money I get for this anyway. I don't really feel the need to get a backload and get back even later. Which, I mean, a lot of you out there will probably think, well, that doesn't make much financial sense. But if you're getting good money to come down here, and that money more than covers you getting home, it's not really an issue at all, is it? So what I'll do is, I'll let you know how the rest of the week goes, and if anything of significance happens, and I shall keep you fully informed of what I'm doing, and hope that you all have a good week this week. Hello, Welcome to Planet Anvil, and it's not a good planet today. It is Wednesday today, Wednesday the 28th of February. We don't have a job today, and my customers didn't have anything for me, and they didn't let me know till last night. And I thought, well, I'll just get up today and I'll see if I can pick up something on the CX. And I've been bidding for a couple of hours, not got a single thing. So it's not good. They'll ring me if they get anything. And I was in the house and I was losing focus. So I thought, right, I'll tell you what. There's not much fuel in the van. I'll nip down the services, which is where I'm parked now. And I'll fill the van up and then I'll give it an hour. And so now I'm started bidding again whilst parked at Birch Services, having filled the van up. Excuse me. Sorry about that interruption. And what that was my customers ringing me to say that all they can offer me today is the unpopular document rundown south. And I've took it because it pays okay, it's just that it goes late. So I'll be going up to Liverpool later on, collecting that and then heading down to Hayes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can get anything up to Liverpool on the CX. And I don't mind doing it not overly expensive just to get me there, because that'll certainly cover half of my fuel. So things can change in an instant in this industry. Thank you to my customer, because I was struggling on this CX. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see behind me there, I'm now sat on a new seat cover, which is sheepskin. It's black. My mate got one of these and I was so impressed with it that I thought I had to have one myself. It is so comfortable. And the theory behind it is it's genuine sheepskin, so it's not for your vegans, that it keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter, but it's still comfy anyway, either way, and I rather like it. And since we're on the subject of buying things, and always like to let people know things I get and if they're useful or not. One of the things I have in this van is a printer. It's a portable printer. I think it's called a Perry Page. It uses thermal paper, and it's absolutely fantastic. I've mentioned it before on the channel. There it is, still going strong. And it uses rolls of thermal paper. So if you need to print something out whilst you're on the road, it prints it out. But it's quite curly when it comes out. And that's one of the problems I've had. So what I've done is I bought myself a new clipboard, because we all need clipboards, don't we? But I bought one of these posher ones that opens out. See? And you've got your paperwork inside. And so when you get your curly paper, and I print it out ready to do my job later for this one I'm doing, close it, seal it, and when it comes out it remains fairly flat, instead of it looking like an Old Testament scroll when I turn up. See, more consumer tips from Anvil. So that'll be me today now. It'll be a late night. I better let the wife know. See you later, everyone. Hi everyone, it is still the same day, and we are now on the M6, getting towards the M5. Then we're going on the M42 and the M40 down to Hayes. I know this route now like the back of my hand, but I've learnt the lesson. Always put it on your sat nav, because even though you know the route, sometimes there's blockages that you don't know about ahead, and I've cocked up such a few times in the past that I always put the nav on. And never guess what? I managed to get myself a job to Liverpool on the Courier Exchange as well. So that was an excellent result for me. I'd been struggling all morning to get a job. Saw a job to Liverpool come up. Now, it was a small van job, and of course I'm in a long van, but it was going that way where I wanted to go, near the centre too. And it was advertised to go from Trafford Park to Liverpool at 30 something miles. So I just threw a £40 bid on it, and I didn't even ring me, just sent it straight through. And it was easy. It was a suitcase to a house address, and kind of pays half the fuel, so that's a bonus. So there's a little tick in the box for the CX. And like I always maintain, CX is a backload site or a site to get you where you're going to. And in this case, it did work. So as much as I'm quick to condemn it, I will say when I've found it's actually been useful to me too. And in this case, it was useful to me. So, decision had to be made now whether I was going to use the toll or not. But that's, I run two sat-navs now at the same time. One avoiding tolls and one with tolls. And it was 1 minute slower avoiding the toll. And the toll's £15 odd for a van of this size, so that's a no-brainer. Yeah, as you're driving down towards it, there's big light things flashing. Toll road clear, use us. But £15, it's a lot of money in it to use a toll road, that. And for a couple of minutes, I don't know what you guys think. How much of a time saving would you say it has to be before you'd use the toll road? I say it's got to be at least 45 minutes quicker. Otherwise, I am not spending £15 something for a van of this size to go through it. No chance. My customers have also told me that they want me tomorrow. So I've got work tomorrow as well. Believe I'm going up towards Cumbria way. Carlisle, Cumbria, all around there. Nice areas to drive. But fortunately, it's bringing something back as well. So it's not a one-way trip. So that'll be a day out. And it should pay okay. I don't think it'll pay fantastic because it's not defence work. But it'll give me a day's money and quite a pleasant drive. Everybody prefers to drive up north rather than down south, just simply because of traffic. So that's it so far. And if anything else of interest comes in, I'll let you know. But after a shaky start to the week, we're moving. All right, it's Friday now. Friday, the 1st of March, start of a new month. And we're on our way to North Wales. We seem to be going here quite a lot, don't we? But this is a CX job, not one of my own customers. But yesterday, Thursday, I worked all day, pretty much. And it was for my customer, and it was doing some collections of air freight. And it was basically collecting in Penrith, and then a couple in Carlisle, and then finally one in Workington, and then get them back to the air freight depot. It was you get paid for the full day, so you get a full day rate for it, and it kept me out of trouble. So it wasn't really anything interesting, but it was money for the day. They did tell me that they weren't all that busy for today, so I managed to secure myself an ADR job, a hazardous load job, which is what I'm doing at the moment, which basically is some gas cylinders, and they're going up to a bar stroke restaurant in Conway, North Wales, which is quite high on this because I had to get to Runcorn to pick them up. And then obviously I'm quoting at an ADR rate, so it's quite a good rate of pay, this. The weather's lousy though. Whoa, what a horrible day. It's cold, it's only 3 degrees, and it's raining, but it's sort of like got a little bit of ice in the rain, so I suppose you can call it sleet. And then my customers have rang me and said that on the way back from North Wales, would I call into Runcorn and pick up some air freight to go back to the airport? And again, for the mileage that you do for that, it's pretty good pay. So that means that today, for a relatively short day, will be fairly good paying day. The week as a whole, I didn't work Monday, so obviously I'm not going to make mega money, but I have made my target for the week. So the wolf has been kept from the door again this week, but we're not throwing fantastic figures out. But I only work 4 days, and today will practically be half a day. Unless something tasty comes on this afternoon that tempts me, I think I'll go for the early dart. And we'll begin again next week. So that was this week. What I would like to talk about is a couple of things, if I may, if you don't mind. And one of the things, a lot of people who watch this channel probably also watch channels of other couriers, I would imagine so, I do. And one of those channels is Freddie Fletcher Limited, who happens also now to be a pal of mine, because I've got to know him and he's a really nice little bloke. And I, myself, have done work for him in the past. And he's had a bit of an issue with the Courier Exchange because he had some problems with a driver, problems which if you watch his channel you'll see, and felt that he didn't get any help at all from the Courier Exchange over the issue. In fact, he's been chasing them for quite a while. And because of that, he put a video out. And, you know, yes, I'll admit it was a little bit ranty, and it was probably due to frustration of them not getting back to him. And, in fact, someone at Courier Exchange, who I believe do watch the videos that we put out, contacted him. And it wasn't really to resolve the issue he had, it was more to threaten him, which is a bit out of order. Basically, they felt the video that James put out was defamatory, if that's the right word, and he could leave himself open to prosecution and basically could end up getting himself removed from the Courier Exchange if it wasn't taken down. Now, obviously, James is, you know, just a small company, and the Courier Exchange are a big outfit, and legally, you don't have the financial clout to challenge that kind of thing. So he was forced to take down the video, which I personally think's a bit unfair, but I'm not a legal eagle, so I don't know what the rules about defamation of character and things like that are. Now, I put videos out, and I, obviously, because when I first started, I was working mainly on the Courier Exchange. And, you know, I have said that, in my opinion, at the moment, the Courier Exchange is very disappointing. And it is. I'm not telling any lies. I tell it like it is. There's not a massive amount of work on there. Now, some of that, I will admit, can be the time of year. And what work is on there is very difficult to win on a bid unless you're prepared to go very low. And so low, in fact, that I believe that you don't make enough money on it. And it's not worth doing. Now, you could argue, say, well, you're doing a CX job today. Yes, I am. But I'm doing a specialist job. I'm doing a job that is basically for hazardous goods. So there's not as many people got a hazardous goods license, and therefore you stand a better chance of getting it because there's not as many people out there to bid on it. But I will stand by what I said, that at the moment, in this particular economic climate, I can't hand on heart recommend to people that you join the Courier Exchange at the moment, because simply the industry's not got a lot of work out there, and it is quite expensive. You don't get a trial. You have to pay out the full amount of money, i.e., you know, I think it's £1,600 plus VAT, might be more, but let's call it around £2,000. And it's not as if you can say, right, I'll join for a month and see how it is, and, you know, if not, go. I believe that you have to pay the full amount. Certainly when I joined, when I first did it. So that's a big investment for someone who may struggle to make their money up, having paid out on a van, insurance, etc. So my advice at the moment is, don't come into the industry yet. Not necessarily just don't join the CX. Don't come into the industry at the moment, because it's really difficult. It's really difficult. And I will also stipulate the CX is essentially for backloads. Yes, lots of people earn a living off it just solely working on the CX, but most of those people have gained contacts through shippers and people like that on the CX over the years. So although the work goes through the CX, they tend to get the work anyway. Coming in as a green driver with no other knowledge than only working on the CX, I believe that you would find it difficult to earn a living at the moment. Now, is that defamation or is that telling the truth? In balance, I will say the CX is the best of the platforms out there. I have tried same day courier network, I have tried delivery app, and quite frankly, the CX is the best one for that. It has good features, it had a good accounting package, it's got a great directory of contacts because it's the biggest one. But at the moment, I can't hand on heart and say, come and join, come and sign up for the CX, because I don't think I would be doing anyone a favour. If I say, yes, join the CX, because, you know, it's great, I would be telling a lie. None of them are great at the moment, and it's a lot of money to pay out, and I don't want to be responsible for somebody paying out a lot of money and forking out money for a van and then finding all of a sudden they're not making the money they expect to make and they're out of pocket. So, is that wrong to say that? Should I be threatened because I say that? I don't know. But anyway, we'll see how it goes and see what happens. But I do feel that to threaten James, you know, with things like that, is a little bit unfair, and possibly you should look at yourselves. And the other thing I want to mention is, I joined a chat group this week. It was a chat group, I think it was aimed mainly for drivers who were sharing information on bad shippers, maybe bad payers, or who give misinformation on jobs and things like that. And one of the subjects that was raised was about posting proof of deliveries. Now, as we know, if you work on platforms like the CX, everything's done electronically. Everything's done through the CX's system. So the job is sent to your app. You accept the job on your app. When you've completed the job, you send the information through on your app. You take pictures of the proof of delivery with your app, either of the goods or of the signed document, and you send it through. And then you generate your invoice through your app electronically, and that gets sent to the people who hired you for that job, and it's all done like that. So there is no need to post the invoice. And especially in these modern times, nearly everything's done electronically. However, there are occasions, and I accept this, where some customers of the shipper insist on the original proof of delivery note being sent to them. So the shipper has no alternative but to ask you to post that to them, because they won't get paid for the job. It doesn't happen very often, but there are still people out there who insist on the original delivery note. So you have to post it. Now, posting it comes at an expense. You have to pay for the postage, and even if you're not sending it record delivery, it's still over £1, isn't it, now, to send something first class delivery, plus the stationery, you know, printing out an invoice to go with it, stamp, and time. It takes time, because when you complete a job on the CX normally, you upload things, a couple of minutes later you're all done. If you've got to post something, when you get home, you're having to then spend time printing out an invoice, putting it all in the envelope, stick it on a stamp, stick a stamp on it, or go to the post office and send it recorded delivery. That is your time and your money. So what the argument was on the chat group was that they believed that you should put extra on for the postage. And I agree. You know, you don't get anything for nothing nowadays, do you? Every little expense you have cuts into your profit, so you should charge. And there was one particular person on the chat group who I think was probably maybe a driver, but also who ships work out, saying that you shouldn't do. And it got quite tasty, the banter. But my take on it is this. If you are a shipper or transport company or whatever, you are selling a job on the CX, you should make it clear on the job that you will want that POD sending via the post on the job before we bid on it. That way we can factor that in on our price, and then you won't have an argument later about people trying to add money onto an invoice because they post it. Because normally you don't find out that they want a posted invoice until after you've made a bid and they have accepted the job. So why not simply put it on your job description before we bid? And then that way, if I bid for a job and it's a minimum charge job of, say, 40 or 50 pounds, but they want the pod posted, I can say, right, I'm going to charge you 45 pounds. That takes into account the cost of the stamp and stationery and the time required to do it. And then that way, everybody's happy. So why don't you just do it like that? Put the fact it needs to be posted on the job description before we bid. And it just makes things a lot easier. Now, they're not very often that you have to do these posted ones, admittedly. And I will say this, that of all the invoices I have sent, the only problems I have had getting paid is the ones where I've had to post the invoice. Now, I haven't had anyone not pay me, but I've had quite a few people pay me late. And every single one of the late payers were posted invoices. So read into that what you will. Anyway, that's me for the week. I hope you've had a good week. If you get any suggestions, you get any opinions about anything, please feel free to put it in the comments. If you would, give us a thumbs up, to like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.